Darren Carter for the Premiership. The Premiership!
Hello and welcome to another edition of Carter's Corner, where we reflect on the previous Blues results and look forward and preview the upcoming fixture. Of course, what a result it was as well. A first home victory for 4 months, a 2-1 win over QPR. Blues coming from behind late on in that one. And of course, next up, a trip to Huddersfield Town, a side in and around the bottom half of the table, and a team that Blues can leapfrog with a positive result on Tuesday night. Darren Carter, of course, joins us. And Carter's a first home win since October the 28th, with a much-needed 3 points. We, of course, left it late in true Blues fashion, but it's a result that sees us 5 points outside the relegation zone now. Exactly the type of result you were calling for pre-game.
Yes, and I think my prediction said that we'd win, so I'll notch that one on a positive one for me. But no, exactly what you said there, Dale. I think it was imperative that we changed that home form around and got a win on the board. And again, you know, it's in a fashion where you go behind in a game, like we have done so many times recently at home. Didn't let the heads drop. Just continued to plug away and scored 2 fantastic goals. You know, great delivery from Mark Roberts of all people, straight onto Pedersen's head, great header, and then that bit of magic that we've been calling for, haven't we? I think top end of the pitch. You know, we've got creative players, and Halovic is the guy that, you know, he's shown glimpses already, and he's got that quality. You know, he has got that sort of touch and finish in him. You know, a super creative player, obviously a big reputation as well. So to see him get that goal and ultimately being the winner, I think just put the sort of icing on the cake, didn't it, on a great team performance and an excellent result.
Crazy division when at half-time you've dropped into the bottom 3 and come full-time you're 5 points clear. But that goes to show how tight it is down there at the moment, Carts. But coming away from St Andrews on Saturday, to come from behind, to do it at home in the last 10 minutes in a game, substitutes, as you say, have an impact as well. It felt like a ceiling had been smashed on Saturday evening. Is it too soon to say that corner's been turned? We've still so much work to do.
Well, I think we've talked, haven't we, the last few weeks about confidence and how that can change a season and can tilt on one game. And you always look back over a season and look what were the turning points, where were the pivotal moments in our season. And I think when it was such a relief for everybody to turn this home form round, and especially now, you know, to put a couple of wins on the board in the last few games. You know, we played very well against Norwich and obviously come up short in that game. But the performance level as well has risen. And I think I seen Christian Pedersen say in his interview after that the whole feeling, you know, around the training ground has been a good one. And there's been a real work ethic, a real mentality to continue to give everything, you know, to put onto the pitch what they've been working on and show real grit again. And that's what we called for. And that's what the team showed. As I say, to go behind at home, you know, mentally, you know, that could have, you know, the team could have crumbled off that. But, you know, they showed great resilience, real good resilience to keep going, and you get your rewards. And as we say, you know, the confidence that must give them now that their hard work is paying off. You know, if they continue to be relentless, I think I mentioned that pre-game as well. You know, you have to be relentless with it now when you've got a recipe that's working and you're seeing the positive outcomes on the pitch. Continue to do it. Continue to stay to them levels. And this squad, we've said it all along. You know, we've got talent within the squad. You know, and it's hopefully now we'll see it come together.
Yeah, is it any coincidence that the last few weeks Aitor Karanka seems to have stumbled across a settled side? I think he's been asked on it a few times now. He's tweaked his team rather than wholesale changes and has found the consistency and the trust in that players. And 2 wins out the last 3 goes to show that it's paying off.
It is. I think you know. I think it's no secret that when you keep a settled side and a balanced side, players form relationships and partnerships. And as I say, the performance level has been very good. You know, certainly better than it was probably 3-4 weeks ago. And with that, like I say, it breeds confidence. It gives you momentum. As a player, then the system. Your role within that system, and you even know what your teammates' role is as well. So when you keep a settled side, it certainly does help the psyche, and you can see that the team are gelling now. They're getting that momentum and that balance. Defensively looking strong, and at the top end of the pitch now we're creating chances, which is something again 3-4 weeks ago we were looking at and saying, are we being a threat in the final third, and we're certainly seeing that now. So again, that's what I talk about balance. We seem to be getting it just right now at both ends.
Yeah, moving on to Huddersfield then. I mean, most Blues fans fancy us when we're on the road, even given our league position at the moment. 2 away games this week, Huddersfield and Barnsley. Concentrating on the Huddersfield one, I mean, we've lost just 4 games on the road all season. It's as good as anyone in this division. 13 goals conceded in 16 away games. A couple of stats that put a positive slant on Blues going away from St Andrews. It's the best defensive record on the road in the division. You're confident that Blues can continue this good run?
Certainly am, yeah. And as you say, all them stats point to being away from home. The team have got a confidence about them, and again, that can it can rub off, especially now on the back of a really, really positive performance and result at home. You always say win your home games, and it does take the pressure off a little bit on the road. So not having to go and have to win every away game. But the team should be looking at that now, and Huddersfield, obviously, they're on the reverse at the moment. A real bad result of the weekend for them at Preston. I think they were beaten very comfortably in the end, 3-0. So they'll have concerns. I think it's 1 win in 11 for them as well. So it's troubling times at the moment. And when you're playing a team like Huddersfield, who they have some real talent in their squad and real talented players that can still hurt you. I think based on the fact that they beat Swansea not so long ago, 4-1 at home. So it shows that they've got talent. But when a team is hurting and sort of, licking their wounds a little bit, it's important now that you really go there. And again, I mentioned that word relentless. Be relentless with it. We're on a good run now. Our confidence levels are high. Go there and start the game with a real tempo, real intensity, and take advantage of the fact that we're on the high of a win. And they're fighting a real bad run at the moment.
Yeah, you mentioned that run. 8 defeats in 11 games. It's quite the slide for Carlos Corberan's team. I mean, 50 goals conceded in 33 this season. Only the bottom side, Wigan, have conceded more. Does that suggest that Blues should get up and get after Huddersfield on Tuesday night?
Certainly, like I say, there's we've got to go there and take advantage of their troubles. You can tell that they're a little bit vulnerable at the moment, and they've sort of plummeted down the table in recent weeks. As you mentioned, that run, 1 win in 11, but again, I'll allude to that 1 win was against Swansea at home, and they beat them comfortably 4-1. So it shows that they've got some talented players, especially at the top end of the pitch, with Fraser Campbell, as we all know, seems to love a goal against Blues, and his record against us. And Benz is a really good player, provides a lot of assists for them, creates a lot of goals for them. And Dwayne Holmes as well, they signed from Derby. So, he's got a couple of goals in recent weeks. So, yeah, they are a threat. But you counter that by the way you go there, the energy that you show, especially to start the game. The first 15, 20 minutes are vital, that, you stamp your authority on the game and let them know that, we're a team in form. We're a team that are confident, know what we're doing, balanced, as I said, defensively solid, and then at the other end, a real threat.
Yeah, Aitor Karanka went unchanged against QPR. As we say, it's Saturday midweeks for a couple of weeks now. This is the 4th game in that 2-week run. Alan Halilovic be a player who's pushing for a start, given his impact? He came on as a second half substitute. He bags the winner. We know about the quality. Aitor Karanka was quizzed on him post-match, says he wants to see that work rate from him as well. But when you've got that talent, obviously his resume speaks for himself, but he's probably a player who's pushing for a start at least.
Yeah, I would say so. Like you say, we've seen flashes from him now, haven't we, from the bench. And I think when you have a player of his quality and talent, sometimes they can be looked at and say, have they got the work ethic to go, with that? And I'm talking out of possession. When they're on the ball, they'll make things happen. They'll look good. But what is he doing off the ball? Is he working for the team? Does he know his roles and responsibilities off the ball? So that's, I'm sure, what Aitor Karanka's alluding to. So you'd like to see that, because the makeup of our team is that workman-like, hard-working, grit. So I'm sure there's plenty of players around him, if he does start, that will let him know that when we don't have the ball, you've got to work just as hard as when you've got it. So, but listen, he's a game winner, he's a match winner. So to have him, on the back of a goal, and a winning goal at that, his confidence levels must be, really high at the minute.
Yeah, Blues starting to claw in the other teams. Coventry, Huddersfield, Derby and QPR, the next group above us. They'll be looking nervously over their shoulder. Can I have your pre-match prediction, please, Carts, for this one?
Well, again, I think that the feel-good factor, and just knowing how the group are feeling at the moment. And again, I think it's a big mental hurdle, not only winning at home, but to come from behind in the fashion that we did it. I think there'll be a real positivity amongst the group. And as I say, they'll know that going to a team that's vulnerable at the moment, a wounded animal, if you like, I think they'll go there with a real intent. So with that said, I'm always confident. I really am. And I'm confident in this game. I think we'll go and win. I think it'll be narrow. I think it'll be a very tight game. But I think we'll win by the odd goal.
You can always bank on your optimism, Carts. I love those predictions, mate. It's Darren Personality Clink taking you through this one. Available on Blues TV for just £10 at pay-per-view. Head to bcfc.com for further details as Blues go in search of a third winning form.
And how fitting that it should be a true blue born and bred who took them there.